Greetings and salutations, comic book conversationalists. It's Comic Book Hangover. And once again, another week means another round of comic books to talk about. So let's just jump into it. Because I got pretty much every book that I picked up last week has something in it that I want to talk about. So we're just going to start at the top of the stack, going alphabetical, with from Boom Studios, Basilisk. This is issue 8, or chapter 8 as I like to call it. Now, Basilisk, of course, is the story of this group of people that came from somewhere in a mountain, and they each one have a unique power. Most of them use their powers to hurt and kill and maim people, and I'll tell you right now, it is pretty brutal because they don't just kill adults in this series; they do kill children. A lot of it is done off screen, off camera, off panel, so to speak. But there are kids who do die in this series, but it's the writing with Cullen Bunn's writing. The art, everything about it is a very well done story. I think what really helps it work with it being normally this could be a story that could be done in 4 to 6 issues and wrapped up, but the way this is being written, its pacing is just right so that the story moves at just a perfect pace. So now we had a group of people, the Chimera is what they call themselves, I believe. And one of them left, and she decided she didn't want to be part of this group and hurt people anymore. She just didn't want to do it anymore. So she kind of was forced to join forces with this woman whose family was killed by them, and she's on this big revenge kick. So as the story's progressed, we've whittled down the gang. Now we're down to just one, and we've also learned that along the way, if one of the members kills another member, they inherit that dead person's powers. So the remaining Chimera member, she wound up killing one or two of the other ones so she can get their power. So she's a very powerful individual right now. We're getting ready. It's basically being set up for the final battle. I don't know how much longer this series is going to go. I don't know if it's going to be an 8 issue, a 10, 12 issue, or what. But we seem to be getting to the point where we're wrapping it up. We're getting to the end of the storyline. But I tell you, it's one of those. If it had to be put in this genre, it would probably be horror, mainly because people are getting killed in it, and there are people with fantastical powers and all this sort of wonderful stuff. But it's more of a suspense thriller. If you want to put a finer point on it, it's very well done. Like I said, it's really well done. The art, I've really enjoyed the art in it. I've enjoyed the characters. I've enjoyed everything about this, even the covers. The A covers, the main covers, are all I've been getting for this series, and it's just been so well done and so much fun. I really can't say enough nice things about it. So, like I said, that's issue 8. I believe there is a trade paperback for the first 6 issues or so. So, if you're curious about it, I would definitely recommend picking up the trade paperback, especially if you're looking for something different, sort of a different kind of sort of horror story. It's cool. It was a lot of fun. And moving on real quick, also from Boom Studios, we're going to have Power Rangers number 17. This, of course, is the first issue post the big war storyline that they had. So now the Power Rangers focused on the Omega Rangers, which is Trini, Jason, and Zack, the original yellow, red, and black Rangers, respectively. Now they got a new Blue Ranger, who's this giant alien cat who... he doesn't speak English, but he still is able to morph into an Omega Ranger, and it's pretty cool. It's a neat idea. I mean, it's really interesting to have a Ranger that's not exactly human for a change. It's cool to see that the whole concept of being able to morph you don't have to be just human or humanoid. You can be a different sort of creature and still do it. But we're setting up something here. I mean, this issue has a big set up feel to it. Now, what we're setting up, I'm not exactly sure. I try not to read the solicitations for these series, so I don't know what's coming out ahead of time. I actually like to be surprised when I read my stories, but it was a good sort of after the events of the big the war crossover with Mighty Morphin. This issue, like I said, it sets up stuff, but it's also kind of a kind of catch your breath issue, which we do definitely need. Next one, this is Black Caravan Playthings. Now, Playthings focuses on you got parents estranged from each other. The father wound up cheating on the mother and divorce. He's got a younger girlfriend. The mother actually raises the little girl, and she's kind of she's kind of self-centered. You know, in this story here, it's like everything seems to be about her. The whole thing, I know it's really kind of hard to describe without giving too much away, but suffice it to say, the girl, it's her birthday. She winds up getting this box. Just kind of shows up literally shows up out of nowhere. It's not in one panel and poof, it's there. Inside there is a clown who is more alive than you would think, and it's, I don't know, it just has this really weird sort of Tales from the Dark Side, Twilight Zone vibe to it. And I know I did this last week, but the art, I really like that art style for this book. If I can get that to focus a little bit, but I really enjoy this art. Again, it's another one of those. It's horror, suspense. It's a fun read. It's something different. I don't know how many issues this is going to be. The first issue just came out last week, so if you're not familiar with Black Caravan, I mean they do a lot of. They're sort of like Scout Comics, and there's another publisher, the name escapes me now, that I really have enjoyed, but they're doing different things. Now, Black Caravan tends to focus more on horror comics, but, you know, it is what it is. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of Black Caravan, Red Wraith #1, and this is at least a miniseries. So they do talk about issue 2 in this one. On this one here, you've got a kid who, you know, wanted to join the older kids to be a skateboarder, and he's not that good. A series of events. They wind up in this graveyard that has a half pipe, and the kid gets demolished. He gets killed, and still turns up for school the next day. There's more to it. There's the Rad Wraith is sort of, I guess, this sort of spirit of vengeance for skateboarders. I'm not exactly sure. There is also an interesting sort of device in this. I'm sorry, my allergies are acting up. So, sort of weird, sort of Tales from a Crypt creep show sort of device where you have this storyteller and he's going through it. Now, as far as whether or not the storyteller is the Rad Wraith himself, I'm not sure. There's a lot about this that isn't explained in the first issue, but they do give you enough to really be able to enjoy it. Now, especially if you're a skateboarder, you're probably going to enjoy this more than other people. If you like horror comics, something a little bit different, you should get enough entertainment out of this to make it worth your while to purchase. But Rad Wraith and Playthings, both from Black Caravan, were a lot of fun. They really were. I really enjoyed them. I'm going to check out the next issues of both of them. This one here is from Image. Slumber #1. Wasn't really quite sure what to expect from this book. So this one, it's this gal here, and she's got a small team of people, like one person, and they sort of hire out their services. If you're having nightmares, if you're being haunted by horrible nightmares, they have the ability to go into your dreams while you're sleeping, confront your nightmares, and destroy them so that you get a good night's sleep. Now that's the surface story. That's the story that's going to sort of carry this. Now there is an underlying thing where there's another character in here that we haven't really been introduced to that she is going after, that she wants to find, and this individual is in the dream world, and so she goes in there to do her job, but also try to find this person that she's looking for, who apparently did her wrong, and she wants to get some payback for it. Now, I don't know if this is a miniseries, an ongoing series, but as far as the first issue goes, this had what I was looking for something that's a sort of a unique idea that could have gone way off the rails real easy, considering the sort of story that it is and the concepts that are in here. So I mean, it could have gone real bad real fast, but it was very well done. I enjoyed it. The cover is fun. The characters are fun, so I'm going to check out the next issue and see where it goes from there. Next two we're going to talk about, actually this one here, I just want to show one panel on this one. This is Refrigerator Full of Heads, #5 of 6, the sequel to Basket Full of Heads, which was a great story. This one continues that and actually expands on the mythology that the axe that we were introduced to in Basket Full of Heads is actually part of a group of accursed Viking weapons that each one does something different, but you put them together and you get ultimate power. Now in the first issue, a shark attacked these people and it got its head chopped off, and the shark's head has been lying in a boathouse just chomping away. Now at the end of this issue, now this is gonna be a bit of a spoiler, but man, does it kick ass. So this, we're getting ready to wrap this up. So she's got the axe and she's going after the bad guys. I wish that would focus a little bit better, but she's going after the bad guys, and she is hell bent and she is ready to rock and roll. And on the front of her truck, she has the shark's head strapped to the front of her truck, and as you can see, it's just going chomp, 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 chomp. So I hope that showed up. I don't know what the glare is like, but such an awesome visual, an amazing visual, a real fun book too. Silver Coin from Image, number 10. I don't want to handle this too much. I don't really care for these black covers, but getting more of a history on the coin in this one. And actually this one, there's a lot of callbacks to some of the previous issues, some of the people who have fallen to the curse of the coin. So it's starting to come together. It's sort of like, again, sort of like Tales from the Dark Side or Hitchhiker or Tales from the Crypt. But we have a storyline that's going on with this item, the silver coin, and every story we're seeing what the coin does to people's lives, and now we're sort of figuring out what's going on, what exactly is in the coin. So it's good. It's a really fun series. I was excited when it was only supposed to be like a 5-part miniseries, but the first issue came out was such a huge hit that they decided to make it an ongoing series, and I'm glad they did because they were able to flesh it out and give us more. So the last one from last week that I want to talk about, Stillwater, The Escape. Now this is a one-shot of sort of I guess you could sort of call it an annual, really. I mean, if this was a Marvel book, this would be an annual. So this is sort of a standalone issue. You got some of the characters that we've known sitting around a fire telling stories about people who have possibly escaped from Stillwater to try to live their lives out naturally. So there are the stories, but then there's like, are these true stories or are they hearsay? Do we really know what's going on? And we have a nice really kick at the end from somebody who everybody thought sort of escaped, but may or may not. And then it's great. I mean, if you've been reading Stillwater, this is definitely a book you want to check out. And of course, Stillwater is a story about a town called Stillwater, where once you're within the border, when you're in the boundaries of that town, you will not age, you will not get sick, you will not die. Sorry about that. If you get injured, if you break an arm, that arm will heal within minutes. If you get shot, you will heal within minutes, regardless of where you get shot. You just will not die in this town. So as for a while there, it seemed like a great place to live, but then there's people that are like, I want to live my life, and especially the kids in that town, because once the thing hit, if you're a kid in that town, you don't get old, which means you're a kid forever. And while their minds mature, their minds sort of get an understanding of the world around them, when you look at them, you just see a child, which is really hard for some of them to handle. But great series. I've absolutely loved it. Can't wait to see where it goes. I know I think it's getting ready to wrap up soon, but definitely one worth checking out. Now, I also have, of course, this week's books that I picked up, which is not a whole lot, and I have some CODYCON books that I want to talk. Actually, I'll just do the CODYCON books first, because I think I got some good ones this time. The first one, and this one I might even send in to get graded, especially if I get it signed. This is the Ghost Rider Return of Vengeance. This was originally going to be the Ghost Rider annual from the run from like 2019, 2020. But 2020 happened, delays, blah blah blah, book got canceled, so this became its own one shot. Now this is the 1 in 100 cover for that issue, and I think that pretty much means I've got them all. I might be missing a 1 in 25 or a 1 in 50, but with this one here, in order to get it, a store had to order 100 copies of the regular cover in order to get just one of these, and that's my first ratio variant that high. That's my first 1 in 100. Next one, this is the book that I got just because I have the other issues. This is one that I needed. This is Married with Children 2099. Love me some Married with Children. Great show. Amazing show. One of the best ever. This was also an issue that I needed to fill in for my stories, for my run. Tomb of Dracula, number 16. This is the first appearance of Dr. Sun. I love Tomb of Dracula. It's going to be, I know it's on the bag and board right now, so I had to do my pictures and whatnot, but it will be put in a bag and board. It will be stored away safely, I promise. And the last one here, this is signed by, the name's going to escape me until I look it up, Kyle Higgins. This is Dark Hawk, Heart of the Hawk, the 30th anniversary one shot. Came out last year. Signed by Kyle Higgins. Normally I like to get my books signed where I actually get to be the person to sign them, but sometimes circumstances happen. I'm not able to go to conventions right now, so this is the best I can do. So I appreciate that Cody Lockwood was able to get that book and when I offered it up, and I was able to snag it. The last one, this is a piece of art, literally and figuratively. It actually is a piece of art. It's not a book. This is from Angel Medina, one of an amazing artist. He's done Amazing Spider-Man, Warlock and the Infinity Watch, and countless other books. This is a blue pencil sketch of his, and I really, really hope that it shows up. Actually, let me take it out here. This might show up better here. This is Man-Thing. And all it is just a sketch drawing a Man-Thing, Angel Medina. I absolutely love it. It's amazing. It looks better in person than it does on video and pictures or whatever. It looks much better in person. Now that one, I know CBCS does art grading, where you'll still get encapsulated, but it won't have a grade on it, where the grade is just as art, because you just want the art sort of protected so you can display it and whatnot. So I may send that one in. I have an Arstic Lullabies one around here somewhere that I want to send in to get graded as well. But that's it. Those are my CODYCON. Of course, CODYCON is every Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Friday Eastern Standard Time on Facebook. Go to Cody Lockwood's Facebook page. I will put the link in the description down below. And for 3 hours, he just slings comics. He's got older comics like Tomb of Dracula. He's got newer comics, Ghost Rider. He's got sketches. He's got graded and ungraded, all kinds of stuff. It's great, and you would be hard pressed to find a more humble and more actually honest person. I mean, he's trying to sell these books, but if you ask him what the grade is, he will give you his honest opinion on it. He also does work with CBCS, so his grading eye is a little bit better, but he'll admit it's a crapshoot. I mean, you might look at it and say this is a 9.8, but it comes back a 9.6. So I mean, he does have a tendency to preface it. This is what I think, but don't take it to the bank. Grain of salt. He's just an amazing guy, one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. So, Cody Lockwood's Loot, every Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link will be in the description down below. Check it out. Now, let's talk about the books that I picked up this week, because I finally got one that I've been waiting for so long. It is from Boom Studios and IDW, Godzilla vs. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, I got the A cover because, damn, that's a nice cover. That's a real nice cover. I also had to snag up the B cover. Now, I know there are some ratio variants for this, but I don't think my LCS got them, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now, I also grabbed an extra copy of this one for my son, and I gave it to him when I picked him up for school, and he was geeked. He's flipping through it, so I think we're going to end up reading it. And actually, he said that he would like to start having a small collection of comic books for himself, which made me feel so proud. Proud daddy moment right there. All right, now moving on. Robin number 12. This is a sweet cover, but this is the last cover before that Shadow War storyline. So this is the last issue of Robin that I'm picking up. I'm not going to be going through Shadow War because it goes through a whole bunch of Batman books that I have absolutely no interest in. I enjoyed Robin. It's Damian Wayne. I don't know if I'm going to come back to the book after Shadow War is over with. It depends on how much Shadow War actually affects the direction of the story, and I may pick up and flip through it at the LCS, the issue that comes out after it. But it's hard to say. I don't know yet. Next one is Power Rangers Universe number 4 with a Pink Ranger cover. Nice. I love these covers. The story inside of it, not so, but I love these covers. The covers are great. And actually, give me 1 second. All right. Sorry about that. I actually had to pause the video for a second because I needed to go grab something that I wanted to show off as well. But the last thing that I picked up from this week is this bad boy right here, EC Archives Volume 2 from Dark Horse Comics. Now, I got to say, these they're great. I mean, the paper quality is awesome. The coloring is bold. It's bright. They are using Marie Severin's original color palette, which has to be done if you're doing EC. Now, again, I've heard people complain about the colors looking flat, but really the coloring on this looks exactly like the hardcover EC Archives that Russ Cochran was doing. So I'm not sure what the complaint actually is. The only thing that throws me off about it is the color up here. Like this one here, I have the original EC issue for this one from the 1950s. This is red, and anytime I've seen a reprint for it, this has been red. So it's weird to see it purple. That throws me off because to my mind's eye, yeah, here it is on the back. My mind's eye, it should look like that, not like this, But still, I love it. So I've got 2 of these now, and I cannot wait to start going through and reading them. I'm also going to be grabbing Vault of Horror, Haunted Fear, Crime Suspense Stories, Shock Suspense Stories. I might even go through the sci-fi books finally. Just have a nice, sizable EC library because there's some great storytelling, great art, some amazing art, some of the best art that, even by today's standards, the ECs had, absolutely gorgeous artwork. But that said, here's the last book I wanted to show off this week. Now, it's still bagged and boarded. I haven't taken my picture of it yet, but my LCS, as I've said many, many times before, every week they do these raffles, and for every so much money you spend in the store, you get a ticket. They have a variety of books up, and you put your name on the ticket, and you put it in the box that corresponds with the book that you like to try to win. I don't always win, but when I do, I'm very grateful of it and very appreciative of them doing this each and every week. So this is the one that I won from last week. This is a variant cover for Little Monsters. And this is a cover, actually, I did want this cover, but I wound up getting, that one right there. I wound up getting that one. So it is what it is. But now I've got it, so I'm very happy with that. So I do appreciate the guys down at Nostalgia Inc., one of the best comic book stores I've gone to stores here in Michigan, down south in Portland, Oregon. I always come back to Nostalgia. I've been going there since like 1988. And that's where I started my comic book collection in 1990, and it's been a heck of a ride. So, thanks, guys, out at Nostalgia. And that's it. I've got nothing else to share. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, share the video, all that fun stuff. Thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you for jumping on board, and my longtime subscribers that continue to watch me each and every week. Thank you very much for your continued support. I will see everybody next week. I have not forgotten, I am still working on some Ghost Rider videos, so as soon as I can get some of those done, I'm going to start tossing those up. That's where that notification button is going to come in very handy. So that said, everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you very, very soon. Have a good one.